Property investment is only for the wealthy, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Okay, yes, whilst that is true, what I want to be covering is how long does it actually take to invest in property? And by the way, before I even get started, you can get started in property from any position that you're in, from anywhere in the world. I'm going to prove it in this video. But before we get started, if you are interested in property investment, getting to know how you can get started in property, then make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And if you find this particular video helpful in any way, it really helps me if you just hit that like button. It tells the YouTube algorithm that people like you want to see more of this, so it's going to help expand my audience. Jumping straight in with number one. Property is a long-term venture, and I want to talk about the power of compounding, okay? So I talk about compounding quite a lot, compound interest, and it's actually prevalent in every investment cycle, but especially property. And if you ask one of the most successful investors in the world, which I think we'd all agree is Warren Buffett, and he's got some really, and I mean really, simple, fundamental investing principles. And he was asked, well, what makes you so successful than other people? He just said, well, I'm older than most people. Okay, and what he meant by that is he's been investing longer than people. And if you look at people's wealth curve, by the way, and this is the same as Zuckerberg, Gary Vaynerchuk, Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, Benjamin Franklin, it all kind of looks like this. Okay. And by the way, you might think, oh, that means they made nothing. No, here represents about 1 million. Here represents about 1 billion for Warren Buffett. Okay, here in these time scales, this is not drawn to scale, I'm afraid. We're talking about 75 plus billion. Okay, and this is the power of compounding. And put simply, if you just do an exercise, and even just there'll be a video on YouTube about it. If you look at the 1 penny exercise, okay, if I said to you, I'll give you £500,000 today, or I'll give you 1 penny that doubles in value every day for 30 days that you have it, what one do you want? Okay, now most people, what they think is, well, take the £500,000, right? No, because 1p becomes 2. Let's see how many I can do this up to quickly. 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. We're still on pence right now. 128, 256, 512, 1,024. So now we're actually earning some decent money, right? We're at £10.24. 2,048, 4,096, 8,194, 16,000, I don't even have a clue now, 388. I'm gonna stop there. And it keeps on doubling and doubling and doubling until day 30, where you are well in excess of £1 million, okay? Please do not underestimate the power of time in the market rather than timing the market, and do not underestimate the power of compound interest. Number 2 is a decision tree diagram. And what we want to be looking at now is, are you going to be active or passive? And then we're going to break it down a bit further. So let's jump onto the board, write this down, and jump onto number 2. So jumping into a decision tree type thing now, which is coming down, and you need to decide, do you want to be active in property, or do you want to be passive in property? And there are 2 ways to approach this, because property in itself, if you're investing, is an investment, not so much a business. And a lot of people out there are like, yeah, grow it as a business. That's great if you're going to be active, which, by the way, I love active income. This whole thing about quit your job, you're just over broke. What a load of bullshit. You've always got a job. You know, if you're a dad, a stay-at-home dad, that's a job. If you're a stay-at-home mum, that's a job. If you look after anyone in your life, that's a job. If you're traveling the world and documenting it, that's a job. Okay, all you need to decide on is, what job do you want? And a job is purpose, okay? Development is a purpose. So it's not about getting out of your job. It's getting out of a job you don't like and replacing it with one that you do like, okay? So whether you're active or passive is completely down to you. If you're going down the passive route, you need to decide on your strategy. And if you want it passive, more than likely you're going to end up at buy-to-lets, more than likely. But I'm not deep diving around that right now. And then you need to ask your question, what funds do you have available? Because you need to have a think about it. And I'll break that down in a moment, okay? Then when we're looking at active, the first thing I'm then looking at is what funds do I have available? So if I put funds there, you need to have a think about it, because again, are you going to be proactively investing and building up your cash pot, or are you going to be hustling and getting more money in deals? So if it's passive, then what you might want to look at again is buy to let. Sorry, if you've got funds, let's say 100k plus, then you might want to look at building your buy to let portfolio. If you want to be active and you don't have funds, we'll say 0 to 100 there. You can get started in property with no money at all. You really can. Let's say £1,000 for some compliance, marketing, cups of tea, stuff like that. Then the first thing I'd be jumping into is deal packaging and property trading. Now, again, let me just put a caveat on that. I am definitely biased. I actually train people on how to build up buy-to-let portfolios, and I paid for training for deal packaging as well. It's not me pitching for it, but I just want to let you know, because I am going to have a natural bias on that. So always take account of somebody's bias, by the way. But there are other ones like lease options, rent to rent. I'm not a fan of rent to rent because you're basically becoming a management agent, which people don't really think about. But I do love deal packaging. It's my core business, and I do love buy-to-let properties, even though they are boring and vanilla. They make me regular money on a consistent basis. What's not to love about that, okay? So you do need to think about this. Are you going to be active? Are you going to be passive? And what funds do you have available, letting down and going through your niche? So with this in mind, what steps would I actually take? Because this is very high level, but let's get practical for a moment. If I was starting again, what steps would I take? Well, number one is I'd probably start looking at what sort of first of all, you start with your own self-awareness, right? But I'm going to assume you're self-aware of your position already. If you're not, do that first, and we'll call that ground zero, self-awareness, okay? Which is that exercise we kind of did above. Next is going to be what strategy. So it's going to be going through, what funds do I have available? How active am I going to be? How much am I going to push myself forward? Am I going to look into deal packaging? Is it going to be buy to let and train with Jamie? No, I'm joking, but not joking. Are you going to do HMOs, lease options, service accommodation, HMOs, industrial, commercial conversion, land development? There's so many out there, okay? Once you've decided on that strategy, you then want to look at getting educated, okay? Now, this is where I'm going to do a shameless plug of, no, I'm not going to plug my training, the YouTube channel, guys. Watching YouTube channels like this, make sure you resonate with the person. And I know some of you watching right now will absolutely love the way I do this. And I know some of you are probably going to unsubscribe from this because you don't like the way I'm delivering content. That's absolutely fine. But if you are interested in doing this strategy, surround yourself, get educated by the right people, subscribe to channels like this. Subscribe to channels like this. Subscribe, right? Subscribe to channels like this. Other channels are out there, okay? And then when you're ready, don't just jump into paid education. Once you've got your strategy now down and you've got educated with the free resources, books, YouTube channels like this, then invest in your education and start moving forward. Number 3 is we're going to look at raising cash. Now, this is going to come in 2 parts. We're going to call it cashola because we're cool. Right, it's going to be yours, number 1. Or it's going to be OPM. Write this down. Other people's money. Other people's money. OPM, okay? You do not need to raise your own capital all the time. I always think it's good to package a few deals, to meet investors, understand the layout of deals, and then invest in property using the fund. So if you package on 5 and you get a 25 grand in your bank from that, use it as a deposit to start building up your portfolio. I always think it's good to risk your own money once you've built that up, but you don't need to before you move on to other people's money. But definitely look into raising cash for your strategy, and you're only limited by your bank account, right? Sort of. So leads me on to number 4 as this quick tip, and then I'm gonna go around limitations from this, which is surrounding yourself with the right people, okay? Now, this is what we call in the industry your power team. A lot of people in the industry hate calling it a power team. I don't really know why, but whatever. I guess it's a bit gimmicky. But you need to get a team around you, okay? So have you got an investor that's going to provide the funds? If you are going to do this passively, you're going to need to get a deal packager. And yes, I also deal package. So if you're interested in me finding new deals, let me know in the comments. We can have a chinwag. But there are other people out there. And if it's not in my area, I'm more than happy. Obviously, I train people in different areas. So I can direct you to people that I would recommend if I don't cover your area. So let me know. So investors, deal packagers, maybe a refurb team, maybe solicitors, maybe brokers. You get my point, okay? So once you've got your strategy, you've got your education, you've raised the cash or you're starting to do it, you then get your, dare I say it, power team. Team of professionals in place that are going to help accelerate your journey. Now remember, no man or woman is an island, okay? There's no such thing as self-made success. I hate it when people say, I'm a self-made millionaire. Mate, unless you won the lottery, which if you did, congrats, I'm not jealous, yes I am. But most of you didn't. It's off the backs of other people, okay? It's your customers, it's your team, it's your family and friends that supported you. So no such thing as self-made. There's no shame in getting help externally to help push yourself forward. These are the simple 4 steps that I would take, as well as subscribing to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. Shameless plug again. Before moving over to the one and only biggest limitation that you have right now. Can you guess what it is? You are your only limitation. And yes, this is damn right about mindset. This isn't just about time, okay? You are limited by your mindset. Now, let me give you some numbers. Right now, in the world circulation of money, there is $37 trillion, okay? $37 trillion in the world circulation right now. By the way, that's hard cash deposits. Do you want to know how much cash there is, including the derivatives, cryptocurrencies that are? You're not even going to believe me. 1.2 quadrillion. Okay, now I know a lot of you are going, that was a bullshit number you just said right there, Jamie. No, seriously, $1.2 quadrillion is in circulation, including cryptocurrencies, derivatives, and cash, etc. Okay. By the way, if you don't know what that number is, that is $1,200 trillion in circulation right now, including derivatives and crypto. What? How friggin' crazy is that? See, even in hard cash, there is enough money in the world for all of us. Every single one of us, your son, your daughter, your mum, your dad, your cousin, the guy on the street, to be multi-millionaires. You're already a millionaire. Some motherfuckers just got your money right now. Okay? We all can be millionaires. The only limit is you. Remember, there is so much abundance out there. There's so much money in circulation right now. You need a fraction of a fraction of a fraction to get you started and accelerating your journey. So seriously, guys, time is irrelevant. I actually want to write this up. So if we've got 1 million, that's there, okay? Then we go to 1 billion, that's there. And then we go to 1 trillion, with a 2 there. That is 1.2, oh no, sorry. Ignore me. That's 1 trillion. And that there is 1.2 trillion, also, sorry, 1,200 trillion, also known as 1.2 quadrillion in circulation right now. That is ridiculous, isn't it? Wow, that looks just like my bank account, just with none of that at the beginning. 1.2 quadrillion. Time is irrelevant right now. It's about your skills and your connections, and that's what you need to invest in, okay? Yourself. And what I want to leave you with just before you hit the subscribe and notification bell is that you are your most valuable asset and your most valuable investment. That was Warren Buffett that said the best investment you can ever make is in yourself. And the final thing I want to leave you with, and really embrace this, is you are not alone. You are an extension of those around you. Remember, your network is your net worth, and really embrace that and bring it in, because time is not your enemy. Time is the only asset that is breaking down over and over and over. Money is abundant. Deals are abundant. Just attract it to you in the right way. Have that law of attraction mindset, the abundance mindset. Take on board your network is your net worth. And by the way, extend your network by subscribing to this channel with a load of other property investors just like you. Communicate with me. I'm going to be putting on phenomenal events just for YouTube subscribers once all of this blows over, and I'm really excited to meeting you and making you an extension of my network, and in return hopefully increasing your net worth. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and hey, if you got value from this, smash the like button and let me know what you thought in the comments. I'll see you in the next video.